Have you ever taken a deep breath of fresh air and thought, this is pure? What if I told you that every time it rains, plastic falls from the sky? And every breath you take contains microscopic pieces of plastic. This isn't science fiction. This is happening right now. Welcome to the invisible storm. You've probably heard of plastic in the ocean. But plastic in the air? In the rain? A few years ago, researchers from Utah State University set out to study air quality in some of the most remote, protected areas in the United States, places like the Grand Canyon and Joshua Tree National Park. What they found was shocking. Over a single year, more than 1,000 metric tons of microplastics fell onto just 11 wilderness areas. That's the equivalent of up to 300 million plastic water bottles raining down from the sky. They called it plastic rain. And it wasn't just in one place. 98% of all their samples contained microplastics. So, what exactly are microplastics? They're tiny plastic fragments, smaller than 5 millimeters. They come from everything: our bottles, bags, packaging, synthetic clothing, and car tires. They don't biodegrade. They just break down and down until they're small enough to be carried by the wind, washed by the rain, and breathed into our lungs. This process is so pervasive. Scientists have a name for it: plastic spiraling. Think of it like this. A plastic bag gets discarded. It breaks apart. Tiny pieces get picked up by the wind. They enter the atmosphere and travel, sometimes across entire continents. Then, rain or snow pulls them back down to Earth, but they don't stay put. They can be picked up again by the wind, over and over. The study found two main ways this happens. First, wet deposition. When it rains or snows, the water acts like a net, catching microplastics from the air and dragging them down. These often come from nearby urban areas after storms kick them up. Second, dry deposition. On dry, windy days, tiny plastics, especially the smallest ones, behave just like dust. They can travel thousands of miles. Plastics from Asia have been found in the Arctic. It's a global cycle. Plastic from our cities ends up in pristine wilderness, in the oceans, and even on mountaintops. This is the most urgent question. We are breathing this in. A study from Denmark found that in an average urban apartment, a person inhales about 11 microplastic particles every hour. These particles are so small they can lodge deep into our lung tissue, causing inflammation, lesions, and over time have been linked to asthma and even cancer. And it's not just us. Microplastics in soil can change its temperature and nutrients, harming plant life. They're in our water, our food chain, and have even been found in human organs. The World Health Organization says we need more research, but the message is clear: this is a public health issue we can no longer ignore. This isn't just an American problem. Research in northern China found microplastics in both rain and snow, with snowfall containing even higher concentrations. In the Pearl River in China, persistent rain dramatically increased microplastic levels in the water, flushing them from land into rivers and out to sea. In Xiamen, China, beaches showed a clear decrease in microplastic pollution after heavy rainfall, because the rain washed it all into the ocean. Microplastics have been found at the highest point on Earth, Mount Everest, and the deepest, the Mariana Trench. They're in Arctic ice, in protected European beaches, and in the middle of the ocean. Plastic production has doubled in the last 20 years. We now produce over 450 million tons annually. And while only about 0.5% of plastic waste ends up in the ocean, that's still 1 to 2 million tons every year. Much of the rest fragments into our air, soil, and water. The situation is serious, but it's not hopeless. Awareness is the first step. Scientists like Dr. Janice Brani, who led the US study, say we urgently need to reduce plastic pollution at the source. That means: first, systemic change. Better waste management globally, especially in middle-income countries where infrastructure is often lacking, supporting policies that limit single-use plastics. Second, innovation. The European Union is already updating wastewater rules to better capture microplastics from urban runoff by 2040. Third, individual action. Reducing our own plastic use, supporting sustainable brands, and properly recycling. Fourth, community solutions. Places like the Netherlands incentivize residents to disconnect downspouts from sewers, letting rainwater soak naturally into the ground instead of washing pollution into waterways. This invisible storm connects us all. The plastic from a city on one continent can fall as rain on a wilderness halfway around the world. The air we breathe is shared. So today's call to action is simple. First, think about your plastic footprint. Can you swap one single-use item for a reusable one this week? Second, push for change. Support organizations and policies that aim to reduce plastic production and improve waste management. We created this problem, and we have the power to start solving it. The rain shouldn't bring plastic. The air shouldn't carry it. Let's work for a cleaner future. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.